Hey, great friends. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome back to another edition of the Scott Kaplan Solo Podcast. So glad to have everybody here. And today, an interesting interview, especially for those of you guys that are golfers. And I know that a lot of you are, because when we took Browner out to play golf to try and break 99, we had a lot of guys with us on the golf course that day and a lot of guys who really love golf, guys and gals, right? And I'm going to tell you today about something called the World Series of Golf, which you may or may not be familiar with. I know I wasn't until my friend Robert Davidman explained it all to me. And you're going to learn about the World Series of Golf and how you could possibly win a $10,000 entrance into the World Series of Golf by going to your local Topgolf location. I'm going to talk to the CEO of Topgolf, and I'm going to talk to the CEO of the World Series of Golf in just a couple of minutes. But before I do, today, at the day of this recording, it's Thursday, August 13th. So today is Thursday, and I'm still exhausted emotionally, but still riding a high on what we all accomplished together this past Monday at the American Legion in Encinitas. You can see that I'm still wearing my Billy Ray Smith sweatshirt right now. I got a message from one of our listeners, a shout out to a guy named Ryan Miller. A lot of you guys will know Ryan. Ryan told me that he's been walking around wearing his Billy Ray t-shirt over the last few days, says he hasn't taken it off. And people will see him around town wearing this t-shirt, and they just want to give him a big hug because I think it's pretty clear to tell everybody, and it's pretty clear to see, that Billy Ray and his passing has had a huge impact on our community. I mean, people adored Billy Ray. They loved him as a football player. They loved him as a TV sportscaster. They loved him as a radio personality. And people understood that Billy Ray was very much a huge part of this community. And so his passing, while it seemed sudden for so many, it was dragging on, frankly, for those of us that were close. And so, you know, when people say to me, they say, hey, are you mad at the NFL? Like I was on Ted Leitner's podcast last week, and he said, are you mad at the NFL because Billy Ray is gone at 64 years old? And my answer is I'm not mad at the NFL, not at all. Billy Ray wasn't mad at the NFL. I'm not mad at the NFL. I'm upset that football has robbed somebody of what I think would have been another 20 years of their life. But I don't blame the NFL exclusively. I mean, you're talking about the 70s and taking a kid and putting him into tackle football when they're a little kid. We didn't quite know then what we know now about concussions, and little kids, 7, 8, 9 years old, are hitting each other's heads. This is in the 1970s when the equipment was garbage. I mean, do you guys remember your first football helmet? It was like a toy, like not joking. A football helmet in Pop Warner in the 70s, I played. It was like a toy. It wasn't even like a real protective helmet. I remember playing Pop Warner football my first year. I'm telling you, it's probably 1977, 78. I mean, that's how old I am. I know. I don't look at it. Anyway, listen, another time. But I remember my first time going to a practice, and only one kid, the rich kid, only one kid had a Rydell football helmet. And man, I wanted a Rydell football helmet. And I had some piece of crap, probably Spalding, that wasn't going to protect anything. So when you say, are you mad at the NFL because Billy Ray had his 20 years stolen from him? I'm not mad at the NFL. I look at it as a body of work. You're pounding your head into other kids before your brain is really, truly developed. You then go into high school football, and you're playing big-time high school football in Plano, Texas, state championship level football. You're going to hit your head every single play, especially as a defensive lineman, undersized defensive lineman. You go on to the University of Arkansas, and at the University of Arkansas, you're playing top-level Division I, back then, Southwestern Conference football. So Arkansas is playing against Texas and Texas A&M and Oklahoma State and all these other schools. You're playing against guys that were headed towards the NFL. And this is the 1970s, the early 1980s. Steroids were rampant in the sport. The equipment was subpar. And so the other part of it is we celebrated the big hits. How many times did you watch in NFL films where two guys collide head to head and the DB is standing over the receiver, taunting that person, and you loved it? We all did. The NFL promoted it. So I'm not mad at the NFL. I'm not mad at college football. I'm not mad at Pop Warner football. I'm not mad at the manufacturers of the equipment. I'm not mad at the guys who were juicing up so they could run faster and hit harder. It is football. And if you would have asked any of these guys who played back then, including Billy Ray, Would you do it all over again, knowing what you know now? Every one of these guys' answers was yes, 100%. They loved the game. They loved the camaraderie. They loved being part of a team. They loved the glory. Eventually, they loved the money and the fame. They'd all do it all over again. So I'm not mad about it. I'm upset because I wasn't compassionate enough. In many, many years, Billy Ray and I would go to the Super Bowl, and they'd bring Mike Ditka over, and they go, hey, Mike Ditka's here to talk about concussions and old guys and taking care of them. And I'm like, oh, come on, give me a break with these old guys. But I wasn't compassionate enough until my partner, my brother, one of my dearest friends on the planet, all of a sudden started to feel those effects. And it was funny. Like I've said, it was funny till it wasn't funny. Billy Ray would say, oh, I got hit in the head too many times. And we all joked about it. We all laughed about it until it wasn't funny anymore. And I've told this story, but I can remember sitting with Billy Ray in a commercial break one day, and I said, why would you join the lawsuit against the NFL? You loved the NFL. You loved playing in the NFL. Your father was an NFL player. You became rich and famous because of the NFL. Why would you sue the NFL? And he said to me in that moment, because I don't know what I'm going to be in 10 years. And don't you know that 10 years later, he wasn't the same guy anymore. And 3 or 4 years later, he wasn't living anymore. He was literally not living. I'm going, like, my hand gesture is to say he was dying. He was going down. That wasn't life. That wasn't Billy Ray. That wasn't living. That wasn't the smile. That wasn't the loud laugh. That was who Billy Ray, that was what was remaining of his shell, of his body. And I'll tell you guys, honestly, like, I looked at the last picture that I had of the two of us together, and I showed it to my girlfriend, and I said, when I took this picture, I knew this was the last time I would ever see him. And she said, how did you know? And I said, he didn't know who I was. And it killed me to sit there with him. He had nothing left. I mean, there was the computer, the memory on the computer was gone. But I'll tell you this, what we did on Monday night was truly, truly amazing. For those of you that were there, you know. For those of you that watched on YouTube, hope you felt it. For those of you that haven't seen it, you should go back and maybe take a look. But when you think about bringing together Hank Bauer, for example, one of Billy Ray's former teammates, coaches, when you think about John Carney, who was a big part of Billy Ray's life as a player on the Chargers, but then eventually Billy Ray worked out at John Carney's facility because John was trying to help Billy Ray. He'd play his favorite music. He would he'd play the Van Halen, he'd play the Sammy Hagar, and he'd work Billy Ray out. There's a picture of John Carney sitting there right now. And John was part of Billy Ray's life, especially in the last few years, trying to keep him fit. And while his brain was obviously having issues, his body at the time was still in pretty good shape. But to get Hank Bauer and John Carney, I haven't seen Hank Bauer in a couple of years. I haven't seen John Carney in several years. Bill Johnston, I haven't seen Bill Johnston, who used to be the PR director of the Chargers. I haven't seen Bill in many years. To bring these people together, Lee Hacksaw Hamilton, John Quintera, to get Jason Finley from Callaway Golf, who was really instrumental in helping the Scott and BR show transition from radio into digital. There are so many people that I could continue to thank for what happened on Monday night. To have Big John Lynch, who was the owner of 1090, show up. We didn't know John was going to show up and jump onto the air. And that, I haven't even mentioned guys like Gary from Ego Trip, who really kind of took over the entire event and did what he always did for us, which is give it to me, I'll handle it. Fat Tony came up with the hoodies and the T-shirts. The nice guys of San Diego were there selling them. So people were buying them for $40 a pop. I think it cost us like $10 to make them. And we made $30 a T-shirt. So a few $1,000, $3,000 or $4,000 to the nice guys, where Billy Ray and Kimberly will be honored at the nice guys dinner later in October. I just think about the volunteering that had to happen to bring out what we did on Monday. For Browner to show up. He got 5 kids, man. He's got his own thing he's working on. For Linda to show up. For Alex to produce and do all the work that he did. I mentioned Fat Tony, Gary from Ego Trip. Everybody who showed up and showed out and helped us. And then you saw some pictures in there. One of those pictures was with our guy, Joseph Cabral. Joseph Cabral is an amazing listener. He's been with us for years and years and years. He himself is dealing with a cancer situation. And for Joseph to show up and sit there for the 4 hours that we did a podcast, Joseph, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And then I got a message, Alex, I don't know if I told you this, but I got a message from Toby from Brock and Wine Tours, because I put his jacket on while we were, because I said, look, we got other people who are dealing with other stuff here. Toby and Joe, and I just wanted those guys to know that we were thinking about them and we were sending them love. So it really was an incredible event on Monday night, and I'm just grateful to everybody who participated. If I didn't mention your name in the last couple of minutes as I was just thinking off the top of my head, please know that I'm not intentionally leaving you off any sort of a list. It's just this is stream of consciousness. So thanks to everybody who participated on Monday. Thanks to all of the old 1090 sales staff that showed up and office staff. I think it speaks to how much people loved Billy Ray that all of these people would come together to celebrate what would have been his 65th birthday this past Monday night. Now, the last thing I'll leave you with is this. Don't forget that on Saturday, August 22nd, we're having a celebration of life for Billy Ray at the Rock Church, and the public is invited. I've been working with Billy Ray's wife, Kimberly Hunt. She wants to show a bunch of videos from the different facets of Billy Ray's life: football player, musician, media personality, husband, father, brother, son. So I've been looking up old videos of Billy Ray playing music, or I'm still looking for the one where he kicked the game-winning field goal. So we're going to celebrate Billy Ray's life the way we really all want to honor him on Saturday, August 22nd at the Rock Church at 2 p.m. I'd say get there early because parking down there can be a little bit rough at Liberty Station, or take, a ride share. But I hope to see everybody on Saturday, August 22nd to celebrate Billy Ray's life with, everybody. Our event was for his birthday, and it was pretty small, a couple hundred people. But really, August 22nd, that's the day I hope everybody will be there, okay? And one guy I did forget to mention was Boomer, who did the cooking. He did the grilling for us. I don't know if everybody had the burger. Alex, I don't know if you had the burger or not. That was a damn fine burger that he made that night. So everybody had the BR burgers, the barbecue sauce, the jalapeno, and I think I bought like 400 burgers for the event. I must have 100 of them stuck in my freezer. So I plan on getting out there and doing some grilling because we got a bunch of leftovers. But thanks again to everybody. I can't express to you how much gratitude I have for Billy Ray, because as I say now, where would I be? Where would I be without him? What if I would have come to San Diego and after a year, he's like, this guy sucks. I can't stand this guy. Get him out of here. I don't know what my life would be. It was that bond, that brotherhood, that teammate relationship that we had that allows us, think about this. We've been off the radio in San Diego 7 years. 2019 is when Scott and BR went off the radio. 7 years after we were off the radio, we had a packed house. DJ Chris Cantori came and DJ'd, all the inner circle of the great friends, and so many people that I'd never met before that were all Billy Ray fans who showed up. That's 7 years after being off the radio in town. That's how much people loved Billy Ray and how much Billy Ray could bring people together. So just a ton of gratitude for Billy Ray and for his memory. And I'll see everybody on August 22nd. Okay, let me tell you what's going on today on the show. I have a buddy of mine. His name is Robert Davidman. Been friends with this guy for 30 years. My first radio job, WQAM in Miami, Robert and I were the same age. He was a sales guy. I was a up-and-coming on-air guy. He and I were pals. He tells me this story one day. He goes, yeah, I'm leaving. I go, where are you going? He goes, I'm moving to Dallas, Texas. I go, you're leaving Fort Lauderdale, Miami to move to Dallas, Texas. Why? He goes, I'm going to go to work with this guy. He's got this startup company, and I think I can really help him, and I'm looking forward to being a part of this company. And I said, really? Who's this? And he's like, well, this guy's name is Mark Cuban. I'm like, okay, I don't know who Mark Cuban is at the time. But WQAM was the first radio station that Mark Cuban put on. I think it was called broadcast.com. I'm not 100% sure. But Mark Cuban put the very first radio station on the air, on the internet, and that was us, WQAM in Miami. Robert got to know Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban said, why don't you come work for me? Robert went to Dallas, worked for Mark Cuban for many years, was incredibly successful. As Mark sold the company to Yahoo back then, I'm sure Robert made a shit ton of money, and he's been an entrepreneur ever since. Robert now owns the World Series of Golf, and he just put together a deal with Topgolf. And I said, okay, Robert, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the CEO of Topgolf. His name is David McKillips, and I want to talk to both of you guys, and I want to understand what the World Series of Golf is and what Topgolf has to do with it. That's the interview that's coming up in just a few minutes. And for those of you that are interested in golf, take a listen because you have an opportunity to win a $10,000 entry into the World Series of Golf. It's coming up here in just a matter of moments. Really quickly, before I get there, I do want to just say thank you to 7 Mile Casino. You guys have been such great partners to us. If you're going to play cards, blackjack, poker, baccarat, table games, come on down to 7 Mile Casino. We're right off Bay Boulevard, 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. Very easy to get to. Open 24/7 and no smoking ever. Parking is really easy, and you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great experience. Sammy's Restaurant and Bar inside the casino. Best brunch in South County on Saturday and Sunday mornings. That's not my opinion, although I share it. It was the opinion of San Diego Magazine readers who voted. They said 7 Mile Casino and Sammy's Restaurant and Bar is the best brunch in South County on Saturday and Sunday mornings. So come on down, play cards. I say to you all the time, it's not a mega casino. There's no wannabe Vegas pool scene. There's no oldies bands that are playing, to a venue. It's a card room. Blackjack, poker, baccarat, really good food, a good drink, easy access off the freeway, 7 minutes south of downtown, Bay Boulevard, no smoking, open 24/7. You're going to have a great experience at 7 Mile Casino, 7milecasino.com. Thank you guys from 7 Mile Casino. Hey, I also want to thank another one of our really great partners around here, and that's Cozy Earth. Now, last week I told you that I got these Cozy Earth towels, and I said that I love them so much that I refuse to take the ribbons off of them. They're so soft and so cushy and so delicious that I don't even want to take them to the beach. I don't even want to take them out of the ribbon and shower with these things. They're incredible. Now, there is one Cozy Earth brick and mortar store. It's in Carmel Valley. It's in the Del Mar Highland Shopping Center. So if you want to go in and touch the towels yourself, lay down on the bed sheets, which are world class, best you're ever going to find, 100-night sleep guarantee. If you don't love these bed sheets, day 99, return them to us. We'll take them back, no questions asked. But it's the sheets, it's the towels, it's the bathrobe, it's the everywhere pants that are my favorite pants. They're the only pants I wear because they've got that nice elastic stretchy band in the waist. You're going to love the Cozy Earth products. So whether it's t-shirts or polos, anything you have that's Cozy Earth, you're going to tell everybody how cozy you are because it's just made of the softest, sweetest, most delicious materials. And so sleeping or casual life, you're going to love the Cozy Earth brand. You get up to 20% off when you use the code Kaplan. So go to CozyEarth.com, use the code Kaplan, and save 20% on all of your favorite Cozy Earth products. And one last mention, and that's our friends at Prize Picks. Listen, I've been playing Prize Picks. I played a lot during the World Cup, and now I'm saving my money for the start of the football season. But guess what? The preseason is here. So while the players and the coaches are getting ready for the regular season, so am I on Prize Picks. Now, I want you to download the Prize Picks app, use the code GREATFRIENDS, and when you win your first $5 lineup, you get $150 instantly in lineup. So think about that. You say, hey, look, I think Aaron Rodgers, as an example, is going to throw for more than 1.5 touchdowns in this preseason game against Green Bay. I know he's not playing. I'm giving you an example. And you say, okay, I think that he's going to be able to do that, and I think that this other player is going to score another touchdown, and I'm going to put those two together, and I'm going to play $5. And on your first $5 lineup, if you win $150 instantly. And there's so much more you can do now on Prize Picks. So it's not just the player props. There's so much more. So download the Prize Picks app, use the code GREATFRIENDS. Good luck on your first $5 lineup, because if you win, you get $150 in lineups instantly. Okay. Robert Davidman is the CEO of the World Series of Golf. David McKillips is the CEO of Topgolf. Let's have this conversation about how these two brands have been put together. All right, Robert, let me jump in with you before we get to David. Let's jump right in. First and foremost, the World Series of Golf sounds like something that every golfer who listens to us in San Diego, Orange County, Los Angeles, every golfer who listens to us, they're all going to want to be a part of this. So, Robert, do me a favor. Get us kicked off here with what is the World Series of Golf for people who don't know?
Well, just like the biggest poker tournament in the world, Scott, we've partnered with Topgolf to give anybody who loves golf and poker the ability to put their strokes and their balls on the line. So how it works is each hole is a hand. Each swing is a turn of the cards, and whoever wins the hole wins the pot. So it's poker, but using golf as the cards.
Okay. But then we talk about how can people get into all of this. And that's really, to me, the most exciting part about all of it is you can get into the World Series of Golf at your local Topgolf. Do I have this right, Robert?
Well, yes, you do. So we're doing it for the first time. We're going to be doing it in 11 states. So we're doing it in closest to California would be Arizona. But we'll be coming to California at some point, but right now we're in Alabama, Arizona, Colorado, New Jersey, Idaho. There's 11 states, 30 locations. So you have your pick. You can choose. What you do is you go to Topgolf and register.
But why? Just if somebody wants to play in the World Series of Golf, the motivation, the end all be all, is to win. What would you win if you won the World Series of Golf?
Well, if you play in the Topgolf Series, you win your way into the WSG Championships. The WSG Championships is a $10,000 tournament where you win $250,000, winner take all.
Okay. All right. We lots to cover here today. Robert Davidman, longtime friend of mine, by the way, is the CEO of the World Series of Golf. And David McKillips is the CEO of Topgolf. David, let me bring you into this conversation. First of all, great to see you, man. And I'm looking at that background. Where are you right now?
I'm in Dallas, Texas, corporate headquarters.
Okay, gotcha. And you've been at Topgolf now as the CEO for what? It's only been a few months, right?
Yep, 6 months in this week, actually.
Okay, well, congrats on that. And previous to coming to Topgolf, I know this is going to sound a little bit weird, but I love the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese, and I know you ran Chuck E. Cheese for a long time.
I did. I've been in the entertainment industry for nearly 30 years, from theme parks to studios, and the latest run was at Chuck E. Cheese, which, by the way, the pizza is fantastic.
I don't understand it. I mean, listen, I got little kids. This is back in the day. I used to take them to Chuck E. Cheese. I walk out of there, I go, the freaking pizza here is great. And people laugh at me when I would tell them how great I think the pizza is at Chuck E. Cheese.
It is good.
It really is.
I'm excited to be here. This is great. And to partner with Robert, this is fantastic.
It is really cool. And here's the thing. People love Topgolf. And the beauty of Topgolf is you can play golf without having to play golf on a golf course. You could go to Topgolf, and it's so much fun. I find that people are enjoying golf in non-traditional ways than I'm sure the three of us all grew up. If you played golf, you went to the driving range, you went to the golf course. Now with Topgolf, and I guess competitors out there, you can actually be playing golf without being on a golf course.
Absolutely. It's just part of the whole golf ecosystem, and golf is certainly having a moment right now, both on green grass as well as at the driving ranges and even in the simulators. So, we think this partnership with the World Series of Golf is really interesting. If you think about what Topgolf is all about, it's all about technology, it's about competitiveness, it's about golf, and it's about fun. And if you put all of those attributes together, hosting a play-in tournament or a satellite series for the World Series of Golf is just a perfect place at Topgolf.
Robert, I'd be curious, how did you put this together? Because this is a big deal. The World Series of Golf has been around for a long time, but in my opinion, it's been sort of an under-the-radar thing. Maybe it's just me, maybe because I was never considering playing, but how were you able to put together the World Series of Golf and go get a partnership like Topgolf? You couldn't ask for a better partner.
Well, first of all, Topgolf is all about making golf more accessible, right? And it's all about making it fun. So you don't have to be a scratch golfer. You don't have to feel intimidated when you go to Topgolf. It's really, really fun. It's an experience. And the World Series of Golf just makes golf more exciting. So we add the competitive flavor, and Topgolf adds all the technology, and they add all of the ambiance. So it was just a perfect mix. And David and I, we had a conversation, and it just seemed so perfect to put this together.
David, was this an easy one, or did this take a lot of time, consideration? Or was this a home run for you too?
Pretty easy. I think Robert called me maybe my first week I started, and he says, "Hey, I've got an idea for you." So, what did I know? I thought this was great, but you're going to see the brand much more heavy into competitive, whether it's a league, whether it's a tournament. So this fit perfectly within the strategy that we want to drive casual and avid golfers. And as Robert said so perfectly, we make golf accessible for everybody. And now we have 103 locations. We're going to start off this year in 11 states, 30 locations to bring the tournament excitement to the World Series of Golf.
I would love it if you guys could get super granular for me, because there's going to be people that are going to watch and people that are going to listen, and they're going to go, okay, great, this sounds cool. Combination of poker and golf, and I can go to Topgolf and I can pay to get in, and maybe I can win my way through so I could actually get a spot in the World Series of Golf. Robert, why don't you pick it up? I mean, there's a lot of golfers out here that are going to want to know some real details.
Well, first and foremost, if you go to wsg.golf, that's wsg.golf, you can find at the top, you'll see Topgolf Series. And when you go there, you can find the location that's closest to you. and register. All you need to do is click there. It'll take you to the World Series of Golf app, which you need in order to keep the score, because it's going to be kind of hard playing with poker chips. So we have it all digital. You sign up, you register, you show up at the Topgolf. All you have to do is show up, scan a QR code when you get there, and that's as easy as it gets. They'll direct you to your bay, and you start playing.
Okay. When you start playing, though, give me the game. Like, is it?
Game is very simple. So imagine you step up to the tee box, and everybody has an equal bankroll. So you start with 10,000 chips, and then everybody antes 1% of their bankroll to start, and then you hit. And as soon as you hit, think of it like poker. Those are like your hole cards. And now there's just a round. After that, you make a decision, right? Am I going to stay in? Am I going to call? Am I going to fold? What am I going to do? You don't need to play every hole. Just like in poker, you don't play every pair of cards that you get. You have to know when to hold them, and you have to know when to fold them.
Well, David, people can come to these Topgolfs, and I think that Robert said 11 different states right now.
That's right.
Yeah. And so what are I think I had read earlier that it's very affordable for people. It's under $90 to join in the competition, right?
That's right. And it's going to be held on September 1st and 2nd. So it's a 2-day tournament. You play one of our virtual courses, and Robert just outlined the rules, and it's going to be all kinds of excitement. So you win the first night, you come back the second, then you're invited to Scottsdale, and we'll bring all the winners there. And that is on October 2nd. And then the winner there will cash in $10,000 and then be invited to the World Series of Golf, the big green grass tournament, where the purse is $250,000.
And Robert, where is the green grass tournament, and when is the green grass tournament? Because I'm hearing early September for Topgolf. I'm hearing early October for
make that announcement as soon as we get to October 2nd.
Okay.
There's an announcement where this is going to happen.
Okay.
And what's exciting about this is the winner who gets into this tournament will be playing with lots of celebrities. So in our WSG championship, it's packed with celebrities.
Well, it takes a lot of money. I mean, you got to join to play. You got to pay $10,000. I mean, so I'm sure there's a very unique group of people that are going to be playing in this event. So I just want to go back though, because I really want to get into the details of all of this. On September 1st and September 2nd, you go to your local Topgolf. Hypothetically, you're in Colorado. You mentioned Colorado. You go to your local Topgolf. You pay the $86 and change to go and enter, and then if you win, you move into day 2. David, tell me if I've got all this right so far.
Yeah, you do. Robert, do you want to walk through the
absolutely
specifics?
Yep. So there's 128 players per location. So think 4 players per bay, 32 bays. You play your 9 holes. After your 9 holes, there'll be 32 winners. Those 32 winners will be broken up into 8 bays of 4 players. And then you'll have 8 winners. Those 8 winners come back for the second day. When they come back, then you'll have 2 winners from 2 bays. And then those winners will go head to head, and the winner of the location, so let's just say you're playing in Centennial, then the Centennial winner will be one of 30 winners that are headed to Scottsdale to play against each other for the coveted spot of the final winner.
Wow. Okay, so wait. So I just want to do the numbers real quick. You have how many people per location?
So maximum 128.
Okay.
So spots are limited, so you have to get them now.
Okay.
Okay. And you have to be the sole winner of your location.
So 128 players per location. There's 11 locations. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking about, I don't know, 12 or 1,300 players in total. And it'll all get whittled down, you say, to 30. And then the 30 people all come to Scottsdale, the Topgolf in Scottsdale.
That's right.
And correct. 30 gets down to 1. And the winner goes into the $10,000. They get the $10,000 entry.
Yes, you got it.
Oh my God, this is so cool. Oh my God, this is so cool.
The odds are incredible. You're not. It's if you think about the World Series of Poker, right? You're playing against 8,000-9,000 people. Here, you have a chance to win. You really have a chance to win here.
Hey, David, we started off talking about how you have been at Topgolf for 6 months. And as Robert has walked me through this now, it puts a big smile on my face. It sounds like so much fun. From a Topgolf perspective, what attracted you to this? Because to me, if I were in your shoes, I'd be like, wait a second, you're bringing me like 1,200, 1,300 people to all play at Topgolf. And whether they win and make their way to Scottsdale, maybe they won't. A lot of people won't. But they may really love their experience at Topgolf if they haven't already been there.
Absolutely. So that's why I got really excited about it. And if you think about it, it's just not only it's the competitiveness, but this is just so different, right? And the opportunity to win and move on, whether it's one night to the next and then to Scottsdale, which is one of our signature locations in really all of the world, and then to win that and then go on to the World Series of Golf championship. This is super exciting, but it's what everything that Topgolf is. It's fun, it's technology, it's golf, it's friends, and I think it's just perfect. We love the competitiveness.
By the way, I started off by telling you how much I love the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese. I got to tell you something, David. The food at Topgolf is really, really good. My daughter lives in Boise, Idaho, and there's a Topgolf in Boise, and it's awesome. And every time I go to visit her, we go to Topgolf and we play and we eat and we drink and we have a great time. The food is really, really good. I don't know if people all realize that the menu at Topgolf is like really top notch.
It is. It's excellent, and we've got a great culinary program. We've got a great chef that's overseeing it, and you're going to see an all new menu coming out actually this October as well with even more treats and everything from new desserts and appetizers and bundle platters. It's great. So I think we've got one of the best burgers in America, quite frankly.
I will ask you, I got to put you on the spot. I'm so sorry to do this to you, David, but I got to do it. You know, there's been talk here in San Diego that there were 2 Topgolfs coming. I don't know if it's still happening or not. One was down by the airport. I don't know if you've ever been to San Diego yet or not. And one was up in an area called Sorrento Valley. Mm-hmm. I'm just throwing it out to you while I have access to you. Are those things still in motion? Is that happening?
Still in discussion in San Diego. It's one of our target markets. It's one of the few major markets that doesn't have a Topgolf yet. So we're working with partners, working with local governments as well, but no new news to share yet.
Okay. Well, we would like it, here, because I'll tell you, I use.
Me too.
In LA, I go to El Segundo. That's right. I've been to that, and there's another one. I got to think of where it is in LA.
Ontario, Montebello, and El Segundo.
Yep, Montebello. That was the other one that I've used. Montebello. I have not been out east yet and used the Inland Empire, but I'll tell you right now, Montebello is great, and El Segundo is terrific. Okay, so I will ask this question because the future seems very bright. How will we ultimately expand to all of these Topgolf locations?
Well, I'll tell you, part of the strategy that I have coming in is that we're going to pivot and to really open our venues up to be the ultimate sports, entertainment, and golf destination, right? So we're doing some incredible things. We did last year. We tied in with football this year. Around the World Cup excitement, we put soccer nets in the outfield, had a soccer virtual game, more entertainment, like we're talking about with Robert, whether it's competitive golf. Arcades are coming in. We're going to be testing out pickleball. We're going to be having trivia contests. We're going to be having disco bingo, like all kinds of fun and entertainment. And the last piece is the golf side, and really to get our arms back around not only the social golfer, but the avid golfer. And this is going to be more tournaments, more competitions, more virtual courses. And then when we get into a membership program, you're going to have member tournaments, member guest tournaments, and then ultimately do things like the World Series of Golf, where we bring in these big national tournaments.
Yeah, wow, this is really cool. So, Robert, World Series of Golf, just one more time for everybody that's listening and watching, how should they go to get involved? Because you've already mentioned the website, but maybe you could hit it one more time.
Oh, it's wsg.golf.
Okay.
/Topgolf-series. So just wsg.golf, look at the top, you'll see Topgolf series. Register there. If you're not in a location, feel free to download the app. You can try it, play it. I encourage you to do it. Once you do it, you'll be hooked. But by the way, Scott, one of the venues we have that you can play is Boise, Idaho.
That's right.
So you got to get your daughter to send all her friends.
The funniest thing about that is that she and I are having this conversation right now, and she's like, Dad, you need to come up here and visit me. And I'm like, well, early September is probably my best time to come do that. And now I'm looking at the date, September 1st and 2nd. I'm thinking to myself, could I make it there? Now, by the way, is it you play on the 1st and you advance to the 2nd? Or
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I want to say the 1st, maybe like a Wednesday. I have to look at my calendar. But okay, so you play on the 1st day, you advance to the 2nd day.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you
gotcha.
advance to Scottsdale after that.
Okay, and then if you advance to Scottsdale, then you go to the green grass of the golf course, which, Robert, you say you're going to announce. You still haven't announced where that's going to be yet.
Correct.
All right. Well, David, it is a pleasure to talk to you, man. Really, congratulations on taking over Topgolf, and wow, what you've got planned here in the future is super exciting. And Robert and I have been talking World Series of Golf for quite some time. When he told me that he partnered with Topgolf, I went, Robert, you just blew this thing through the roof, because now you can just be the average everyday golfer and not have to go spend 5 or 6 hours of playing a full round of golf like you're trying to get into the U.S. Open. You go to your local Topgolf and get into the World Series of Golf.
That's great. Fully accessible.
Yeah, really, really cool. Well, Robert, congratulations, man. You've done an amazing job with this thing. And David, congrats on taking over Topgolf. I look forward to talking to you many more times over the years. In fact, I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to bring an entire radio audience out to the El Segundo location, do a full broadcast there, and play. Be great. Seriously.
Great. Look forward to that. Great to be on today.
Hey, a pleasure to be with both of you guys. Congratulations. World Series of Golf and Topgolf. What a combination. Appreciate both of you guys.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Take care.